Hey, you're in Steve's Kitchen today. We're doing an unboxing. I didn't mean to. We went out to get a little spray oil can of olive oil yesterday, came back with 6 gadgets, I think. So these are products we bought. They're not sponsored gadgets. In fact, whenever anyone asks me about sending sponsored gadgets, you know we're always on the road, so I'm never anywhere where they can be sent. So I had a bit of a shopping day yesterday, came back with some really cool items. In particular, this Misto Gourmet Olive Oil Sprayer. I've always wanted a reusable oil sprayer. This looks fantastic. We'll take a look at that in a moment. The next thing is we went into the supermarket and I fancied some kiwi fruits, so we bought a packet. They were on special, and it wasn't until we got back that I noticed there was a gadget in the bottom of the box. We didn't even know it was there. So I thought to myself, I've got a lot of bits and pieces here. I'll share them across with you and you can sort of give me some feedback what you think. This may look, by the way, like an ordinary cake tin. It is not. It's super fun. So let's get on and look at these gadgets. We'll start with the kiwi fruits. I just open the packet up here. Now, I do love kiwi fruits and they seem to be in season at the moment, but this packet came with, and I don't even really know what it is. It's a kiwi fruit knife and spoon. Now, it's called the Kiwi Scoop, so it's got a little blade there. Now, these plastic knives can be actually quite good with fruit. I'm just going to cut through the kiwi. It seems to be drawing the knife off slightly to one side. There's my kiwi fruit. Here is the scoop. Now I'm guessing the idea is to get in there and scoop out the kiwi fruit. It's kind of okay, but so there you have it, gadget number 1. Bit of a failure really. You could use a teaspoon to do the same thing, but this leads me to my second gadget. And here we go. I'm gonna have a bit of kiwi fruit while I get it ready. Now, if I were doing kiwi fruits, this is what I'd want. This is the Savannah Titan. Now, I've been wanting a decent potato peeler or vegetable peeler for quite a long time, and I really prefer the type where you can get your hand on and peel like this rather than these sort of dragging sort, which I think can easily catch your fingers. I really don't like those at all. And simplicity is often best. Now, these are not the super cheap potato peelers that you can get. They're really well made. This is completely stainless steel. The handle is nice and ergonomic. It has like a soft silicone non-slip handle. And if you're doing a lot of peeling, some of the handles actually will blister you, but this is nice and soft. There are no sort of jagged bits. It looks, I know, a very simple gadget, but I do love a really well-made potato peeler. And I'll show you the way I would actually do a kiwi fruit because I don't want to waste much kiwi. Aren't kiwis great? They're like a little furry green strawberry, but they do have this hard core at the end. So I'm just going to nip that off. It's a little bit tough. You can see that little wooden center. And I'm going to do the same on the other end. Now I'm going to take my Titan and I'm just going to peel the kiwi over. So see how beautiful that works? It's really quite sharp. You do have to have a good blade. I'm just going round the kiwi, taking the skin off. It's getting a little bit slippery towards the end there. And there we have a kiwi with very little waste, unlike this one with our first little gadget. So you can decide then whether you slice or dice this for a fruit salad or just eat it straight naturally. Oh, that is good. Now I love the little serrated edge. It is super sharp and super strong, this blade, and that's why it's got a little cover that goes over it, so when you keep it in your utensil drawer you won't blunt it or damage other items. Now let's test it on a regular potato. As I say, I like the fact that you can hold your thumb here and just peel this off. Now this is working very well. It's super sharp. It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't take off too much of the outer skin. So there you've got it, the Savannah Titan vegetable or potato peeler as I would use it. It's got one of those little eye hooks for taking out eyes of potatoes. I rarely ever use those, but it's there anyway. I'd be interested to know what you think of this peeler, whether you've got other favorites. Just comment and let me know. I certainly am not endorsing this particular peeler, but I went out to find a good quality one and I reckon this is great. Now that brings me round to the reason I went out yesterday. The Misto Gourmet Olive Oil Sprayer. Now, Occasionally I do want to spray olive oil or oil onto something. You know the aerosol cans you can buy in the supermarket? They invariably end up running out with half the oil still left in them. They're super un-environmentally friendly. I'm hoping the Misto will do us a better job. So get the old reading glasses on. So add about 3 ounces of your favorite olive oil. Fill up, half fill the space needed for the pressure. Pump the top of the can until firm. Remove the top cap and spray. I'm going to open this up. Oh, it's even got instructions in here. The Gourmet Olive Oil Sprayer. So it feels like an aluminium can. It's fairly lightweight. Now I've seen this. This is like a pumping unit, I think. So the head of this looks like a regular spray can. And I noticed as I put this on, there's pressure on it. I think you pump air into it. So I don't know if that will work without any oil in there. Listen. Open the lid up. It's got a little, oops. Okay, so it's got the plunger that goes down into the oil. It's got a little rubber seal around the top there. So I'm going to half fill this with olive oil. We're just going to take ages through this ridiculous little spout. That's taken ages to fill, so I've gone about maybe a third of the way up. I'm going to pop the lid back on. So first of all on the little spray cap. So we just tighten that on, make sure it's nice and firm. Now on goes the little pump lid. Okay, so they say just 5 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's give this a try. That's just 5 pumps. And yeah, it's sort of splattering out a bit of olive oil. I would say, because I only filled it about a third of the way, probably a little extra pressure. So let's do it maybe until I feel a little bit of resistance on the lid. And here we go. Yeah, so that's spraying a lot better now. So we're getting a nice even mist of oil in the pan. I like this a lot. I think this is a great way of being able to not waste these tins over and over again. I just hope it lasts. I mean, I'm getting a really nice fine mist off of that now. I've just put enough pressure in there. Big thumbs up to this Misto. I don't know whether when I'm storing it, I'd probably just let the pressure out when I'm storing it. And I would say probably use the lightest of virgin olive oils that you can, so it doesn't ever clog the little nozzle. We'll see how it goes. This will be used over and over again in the channel on the upcoming months, and we'll see if it stands up to time. But at the moment, a big thumbs up. I like this a lot. Now, before I go on to this really nifty cake tin here, this is just something very simple we needed for a couple of recipes we've got coming up. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified when these recipes are up. This is just a dough scraper, but it's quite a nice one. It's by a company called Lakeland. It's really frustrating buying these things and not unpacking them as soon as you get home, but I wanted to share it with you. This is really simple to take out. I'm guessing you just pull this down and slide it out. This is a nice looking dough scraper. It's got a silicone handle. It has some, I think it's just inches on the actual blade there. Lakeland are a great company. I've bought a lot of products from them. This is not an endorsement, and I'm not even sure if they're worldwide or what, but they certainly make some great products. What I like about this blade is the corners are beveled off and the edge of the blade is nice and smooth. Why is that important? Well, it is super important. If you know anything about scraping, whether it's paint or with doughs and food, if you have a square edge on there, it will catch your countertop and make awful gouges on anything you're working on. So the rounded edge is really important. And also for the blade to have a nice smooth edge means you're not going to scrape up your counter or your workbench. It's 6 inches long, perfect for bread making and dough making. As I say, you can scrape across the counter. There's no rough edges here, nothing going to mark up the countertop. I like it a lot. It's got a great feeling handle. So thanks again, Lakeland. They didn't give it to me. We went out, I think we paid probably about 10 bucks for this, but I think it's going to get used. We've got a series of bread making, another series that we're doing shortly. So this will be used. You'll see this coming time and time again into view throughout the videos. Now, what have I got here? It is a large pop-up food cover. I've wanted one of these for a long time, and I've been looking for one like I had many years ago. It was like a little umbrella. You sort of pulled it up and it covered over to keep flies and things off. Now we're traveling through the outback over the next coming months, and we'll be doing some cooking outside. So I want something to cover over and keep bugs and critters away from the food. Now, with the pull-up umbrella ones, they tend to be quite good. They pack down quite small, but they have a curved side, so they don't cover everything perfectly. And when I saw this in the shops, this is the big version, by the way. This one is, have to get the reading glasses on. So it says 40 centimeters, which is 15 3/4 inches, and it has an 8-inch high. With all these pop-up things, we've got a pop-up tent, as you know, if you've been following the trip around Australia. This makes so much sense. Let's see if it's as good as I think it is. I'm just gonna get rid of that rustling paper. Now, it's got a fairly strong elastic around the outside here, and it would need to be to keep this thing together. Straight away, look, that is exactly what I was thinking it would be. It's absolutely perfect. You can pop that over a plate of food, keep the bugs off. It stands by itself. You could use this for curing jerky out in the sun, drying fruits, fruit leathers. We will be using this, I'm pretty certain, when we travel around Australia. We've just done that trip around the Nullarbor. We'll be going up North Australia later on. So I'm hoping this will be the perfect thing to keep all those flies off. Now let's just pop it back together. This has got a very strong elastic band. I've got a feeling that elastic may lose its sort of strength over time, like most elastics, but at the moment it's keeping it nice and thin. That'll slide into any suitcase, so it's perfect for me for traveling. So 40 centimeters, that's about 16 inches, a little bit under 16 inches. This is just perfect, simple, pop up, cover over your cakes and food. Love it. Now, if I can find online references to these things, I'll pop them in the description so you can check them out. I haven't looked to see if they're available easily online. I suspect they are. Now, the last thing, I think is the last product today, no ordinary cake tin. Now, this is a loose bottom cake tin. I've not seen anything like this. It's called the Push Pan. It's also by Lakeland. It's an 18 centimeter or 7-inch. We don't always want huge cheesecakes and cakes when we're traveling. Let me have a little read of what it says. It's a heavy gauge anodized aluminium. I do love these anodized. They're really solid aluminium. And the beauty of this is the center, and I haven't tested it yet, it doesn't leak. A lot of these loose bottom pans, they'll leak if you try to put them into the oven. Sometimes things will leak out of them. And the way they do that, let me get this thing unpacked. Innovative loose based cake pan with a silicone seal. This makes the cake pan watertight and leak proof. So it's the usual loose bottom cake pan, whoops. So it's a double-edged silicone seal. So I'll pop that base back in there and we just push it down. Now, one of the beauties of this particular loose bottom pan is I can stop there. I don't have to go all the way down. See, it says 2 inches there. So if I wanted to do a shallow pie, I could use this as a pie tin. If I push it down a little bit further, whatever depth I want really, I could use that to make a lemon and meringue pie or even a meat pie. I think this is really cool. Or I can push it all the way down to the deepest depth and stop at any increment. So if I'm doing a cake or a deep cheesecake, I can use it for that. I just think that is fantastic. I've never seen anything like it before. I didn't see this before I went out. We just found it in the shops. One of the good things with this being completely waterproof, I've got a jug of water here. Let's hope it truly is waterproof. Yep, there's nothing dripping out. Now, what does that mean? It means your batters won't leak out, but it also means a pan like this can go in a bain-marie, in a water bath, in the oven, and it won't leak water back in. So it's perfect for an all-round baking tin. I don't know if Lakeland invented this product or who did, but I think it's absolutely fantastic. I suspect you're going to be seeing this again in a recipe very shortly, so keep a lookout, and if you do see it in the next recipe, let me know what you think of it. If you've already got these, or if they've been around for years, you can tell me in the comments, but I think it's great. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. A little gadget review, nothing sponsored. These are just things we went out to buy. If you do want to send sponsored gadgets to me, yeah, you'll have to hit me up in the personal messages and find out where we are. As most of you know, Michelle and I travel all the way around the world with our show. We have a lot of fun. So if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you get notifications. Be good, and I will see you in another video very shortly on Steve's Kitchen. Take care. See you next time.